Thank you. This is a species that I've created, which is called the moontails, or also the viratails. Basically, these are like a subset species that have antennas and such and are really weird. The viratails are the more normal ones. That is another thing that if you are curious to learn more about, you can check out my card. Shameless self-promo. Thank you for asking a question that related to my species.
I have a question from Wolf asking, how does one merge objects together so I can minimize jank and avoid extra tries?
Yes. Okay, so to merge objects together, definitely, yeah, that would be a Blender thing. So you would go into Blender, and then select all of the objects that you have. You would like right-click them in object mode, and then just hit join. There's a button that says join, and they'll all merge together as one. You can still like in edit mode and such if you need to. You can still select individual parts, because it'll kind of retain the fact that it's like separate meshes, kind of, because none of the vertices are actually connected. That's how like I made the teeth and such here. The teeth like don't move with everything else because they're not actually connected. So yeah, the join button, very important.
All right. A final question or two to wrap things up with everything that you've talked about so far. Do you have any ideas for good practice for the ideas that you've talked about? Alternatively, what did you do to practice refining the basics that you've mentioned so far?
Honestly, I just kind of do them step by step. So with I first started making avatars that looked kind of like poorly cut potatoes. And then slowly, there's one in the audience. There's slowly but surely, like I started refining the head first, because the head is like, it's what you look at. It's the pretty face. And then I started refining the body, and then I figured out how to do the arms more. So the arms had better topology. I fixed that up. And then finally I fixed the feet. And currently I'm in the progress of fixing up the body topology itself so that it's nice and clean. So I just cut it up into different pieces, honestly, and refine each one individually. Because, I mean, at the end of the day, who's gonna stop you if your model has a super detailed face and your body isn't at all? If it works, it works.
All right, final and probably most important question: where can people find you? What are your socials, etc.?
On Twitch. Twitch is where I stream, and then I post a lot of my art stuff to Blue Sky. I am most active on Discord. My Discord server is where I post a lot of stuff. I am constantly in there chatting and just sharing random work in progress pictures. So join my Discord. We have a lot of fun there. We're very chaotic. It's a blast. It's a good time.
All right. Thank you so much. And remember, if you guys have any extra questions, go into the Discord, and I'm sure that you'll want to. There's a lot of them already in the Discord. So make sure to ask all the questions to this wonderful being over here. And yeah, that's all the questions I got for you.
Yippee!
Sage, are you there? Sage, hey.
What do you want? Are you supposed to be in bed?
Meow.
Go to bed.
Herkesle, no box.
What's happened? Sage.
Aren't you supposed to be in bed? It's 3 o'clock.
Bed? Who? 3 o'clock? What's happened?
This shit's boring.
Hey, that's not boring. Meow.
It is.
Yeah, that's always today's website is
This is gonna be my last
working.
one.
It's
I
not
gotta
well.
go. I'm never coming to these events again.
What's the again?
I'm never going to Furality again after this one.
Wait. Sage. No. What's happened? No. Sage. Are you okay? Huh? Wait, where's Fluffy?
Eco box.
Sage.
No Neobox.
What? Button no. Sage, please speak me.
I'm not in the mood
Sage.
to talk to people today.
Why?
People are
Are
boring.
you not happy?
No, I'm
Hey.
not happy.
That's me. Huh? I'm not good? Sage. Huh? Sage, please. Speak to me about what has happened. Yeah? Dude. Yeah? Yeah? I see the Discord, okay? Right? Ah, Sage, this is started.
Sage, Beige,
So first is saying is sucks. Yeah, Sage. That's the next is photography is tips and tricks. Yeah. Okay, that means going is see. Why is that? Okay. Ah, is the friends. 34 is a 35. 24, 30,
Sage,
5,
Where can I get a
7.
badge?
Sage. Dude, I'm so first as joining in Furality.
Fluffy keeps asking me out
That's so
for
me.
things, and it's hard for me to even give him advice on it because he can't understand English.
Yeah, I know. That's what's the problem? Sage. Yep.
Fluffy needs to learn English.
Yeah, I know. I'm the saying is Fluffy is you is the learning English. That's all. No,
Hello, chat.
I'm hard.
Welcome.
I'm so
my
hard
name
to
is
speak.
Z the Zebra. I am
Yeah.
a photographer here for Furality, and this
Oh, the
is going to be
photography.
my tips and tricks panel that I'm running here. It is going to be a focus on the use entirely, mostly of the default camera.
Where can I
How you
get a
can use
badge?
the default camera and tools to your advantage, all within
Why
VR
am I
chat.
always the
Nothing
one? Stop
external,
helping
no like
everyone.
really editing other than like a default Windows
Damn
editor.
it.
So everything I will be talking about here, you can use and will be at your disposal within VR chat itself.
No,
We have
Filling up a
gotten
bunch of
so many good
noobs
updates over the
everywhere,
past 4 years.
nuts.
4 years? I think it was 4 years since we got the camera we have now. It was during Legends, Furality Legends, when this camera came out.
You download it on the
it's just gotten
website,
so much
Fluffy.
Updates over the years, it is really
Yeah.
good. It is like on par almost with VRC lens now.
Yeah, that's our problem
both
is the
have their
website
uses
is
and merits, but this
today
is
is working.
all about
That's
the default
always
camera.
glitchy. Yeah. Glitchy is
How
a
do you
bug in
use the thing?
website.
First off, so this is going to sound
Furality.
kind of redundant to people that already know how to use this, but
Ah,
for
that's
the
you
people
help with this Fluffy.
that have never used it before or have just, brought it out and taken a picture, have never messed with the settings before. How do you use each setting to your advantage? You would be surprised that people don't know that these buttons exist.
Stage.
Now you can change
Sure.
the resolution of your photo, for one.
Don't worry, okay?
You can change it all the way up to 8K. I don't recommend doing that in big instances, though. You will lag a lot. And a lot of people don't
2K.
realize as well,
Mhm.
there is a rule of threes, or I guess it's called a grid on the default camera, which brings up a grid that lets you actually like focus things more. I guess lets you get things into a shot. Like there's 3 grids.
Bring it out just to see it.
That one.
Mhm.
There's a grid. It lets you be
Use
able
that
to you get things in focus pretty much. It lets you line things up a lot easier. You'd be surprised at how many people don't realize that this button exists.
And there's an alternative, which is golden ratio.
Now, what is a mask? There's masks and
provides
there's
different
filters
set of
on the
dots.
default camera. Don't use the filters. The filters are not what they seem like they are. They are kind of generic and not very good in my opinion. Now, using a mask, however, is incredibly useful.
Oh yeah.
There's different options for the mask,
Definitely.
where you have your local user, remote user, world, and you have a green screen and UI. UI and green screen are off by default. They also have their uses, which now you could actually use the green screen for using the default camera as a streaming VTuber with their new like face tracking or whatever. I haven't really messed with that at all, so don't have anything about that. But it is possible. It is possible.
Oh.
Now, the masks are incredibly useful because if you
interesting.
mask
I'm
out the
not aware of
world,
that.
obviously, the world is blank, and you have a blank slate of your
We'll
avatar,
be
and you
here
don't have
today,
to crop it out or
so,
edit it yourself. The camera does that
You
for you.
until is
Yeah,
10 p.m.
Now, if you're in a big instance or just an instance
Joker
with
has
friends and you
logged
want to
in.
take a really cool
So
photo,
great thing to go
but you don't want
work.
people blocking your shot and you don't have to ask them to move, you have the power to just hide remote users entirely. Same, and the reverse is same with your local user. It just hides you. Now, I always tend to use the manual focus of the camera mode. There's 3 focus settings. There's a manual, a full auto, and a semi-auto. A full auto will add I don't actually have a slide for this one, but full auto will have a dot in the center of your camera, and you can hold your camera and click to move that focus point. So if you're not really good at focusing, there's that option, or semi-auto, which has the same thing, except it controls your aperture for you. But I always use manual because now we have the use of focal distance and aperture. Plus, the recent change, you can actually show your peaking point. That is the red here. I cranked both of them up as an example to show you the peaking point. That shows you what's in focus and what's not in focus, and it is incredibly useful. Thank you so much for adding that, because that was a struggle with the default camera in the past. It was really hard to see if things were actually in focus, especially if you were on an older headset with a really bad screen door effect. It was really hard to tell if things were in focus or if your aperture was right. But now we have an ability to see that, which is incredibly useful. It was really good for getting that nice blurry background to get a focus on the subject that you're trying to shoot. Oops, wrong way. Now here is a